This particular storm is capable of producing a tornado, so if you live in areas west of Roswell, you definitely want to take cover right now. You can see just a little bit of a hook trying to develop there. That's what we look for on a radar for a tornado to be developing. This one is moving slowly to the south and east and will eventually pass north of Hope here in the next hour or so. This storm is not only delivering hail and gusty winds, but it also is, again, capable of producing a tornado. If you're in Wagon Mound, you want to get inside and get into the most interior portion of your home, away from windows and on the bottom floor. If you have a basement, that is your best bet as the storm works its way through to the south and east. Now, a lot of the issue with trying to figure out where Matthew's going to go as it approaches the U.S. is just the strength of the jet stream out across the Atlantic Ocean. It's not a very strong jet stream, so that could allow for a lot of wiggle room either east or west. The fact that we are kind of going into a La Nina is something that you have to really pay attention to for those long-term outlooks. Now, with the monsoon, not as strong of a correlation, so that's really when we're going to be looking for our better shots at trying to get some precipitation across the state, because as we get toward the fall and winter, this La Nina doesn't go away. It's not looking great. Back to the east, we have that ridge of high pressure, which allows us to pick up a little bit of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And those two combine ideally over the state, giving us a good shot at least getting some moisture into the state. And of course, once we have that moisture in place, that's just one ingredient to getting those showers and storms going across New Mexico. The other ingredient is getting that daytime heating. That is why we oftentimes see those showers and storms developing during the afternoon hours during those summer months. A lot of times you think La Nina, oh, we're not going to get anything, just because a strong La Nina we can typically do pretty badly. But a weak La Nina, not so much. You were showing what, about every 2 out of the past 5 La Ninas, weak La Ninas, we've actually done pretty well for precip. We typically see about 9.5 inches of precipitation in Albuquerque. In La Nina years, we are typically below that by quite a bit. In fact, if you look at 2011 and 2012, that last double dip La Nina, we were far below average as far as the year goes in Albuquerque. But when you look at an El Nino year, the El Nino that we just had, even though it wasn't what we were expecting, it was on the better side. And sea surface temperatures are now starting to edge back toward an El Nino. At least that's the forecast. So, Mark, that is why we are looking at a little hope. All right, let's take a look at what's going on over the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. The view from Taos, where you can see the clouds bubbling up over the last 3 hours or so. This is where we're getting a few showers to develop this afternoon, right along the spine of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. Also seeing a few of those showers developing along the San Juans of New Mexico. And right now, that is about it. Now, we will start to see a few more of these showers develop, especially across the north and into the eastern part of the state later on this afternoon, where we're still holding on to a little bit of moisture, but don't expect the coverage of showers and storms to be quite what it was yesterday. We won't see as many storms across central and western New Mexico, thanks to some drier air starting to punch in. 72 degrees the current temperature with an east-northeast wind at only 3 miles per hour, so it's a very nice afternoon across the Albuquerque metro area, and it's very comfortable across much of the state. Temperatures into the 70s across the north, down into the southeast, even in the 70s this afternoon, and into the upper 70s across the southwest as well. We are starting to gradually warm those temperatures up from what we saw over the past couple of days. In fact, we are anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees warmer across much of the state. Tucumcari 12 degrees warmer, 16 degrees warmer in Clovis, and we're going to continue this warm up through the end of the week, into the weekend, and early next week as well. And this begs the question, should it be hotter than what we have been seeing? We have yet to hit 90 degrees in Albuquerque. Is that unusual for this time of the year? Well, if you look at the past couple of months, we have been on the cooler side. Our average high over the entire month of May was only in the upper 70s. If you go back to April, only into the upper 60s. And this is a little bit cooler than what we should be seeing for this time of the year. In fact, May, on the whole, was about 1.7 degrees, almost 2 degrees cooler over the course of the month for afternoon highs and morning lows. April, not quite as cool, but still on the cooler side. Now, the question is, when should we see our first 90-degree day in Albuquerque? Well, it does vary over the past few years. We have hit 90 degrees in the month of May, the one exception being last year where we didn't hit 90 degrees until June 1st. So we are at least later than we have been in recent years, but we're still in the ballpark of when we should be hitting 90 degrees, and that will be happening any day now as we have a ridge of high pressure out to our west. That's going to start to build in. That's going to dry out the state, and it's also going to help those temperatures warm back up. In fact, we are going to be losing our rain chances over the next couple of days with this storm system that was to the south of the state yesterday. That departing takes some of that moisture with it, as well as some of the storms. And then we watch this ridge of high pressure out to the west. That's going to start to edge in as we move over the next couple of days. First drying out central and western New Mexico today, leaving most of the showers and storms along and east of the central mountain chain. Then into the day tomorrow, we'll see that high build in even more, looking at mainly just spot storms across the higher terrain where we're going to get a little bit of that lift. So we will be starting to see those storms decrease over the next couple of days, but we do have a cold front that's going to help bring in a little bit more moisture for the latter half of the weekend, especially across the east. That will help give us a better chance at showers. Southern Colorado, mix of sun and clouds, mild this afternoon. Temperatures warming up through the weekend. In the northwest, mostly sunny and warm. Temperatures back into the low 90s for the end of the week and the weekend. Over the southwest, mostly sunny. Could see an isolated storm, especially over the Gila. We'll continue that warm up through the weekend. In the southeast, partly cloudy, scattered storms for this afternoon, drier for the weekend as temperatures warm to near 90 degrees. In the northeast, scattered afternoon storms a possibility for today, drier for Friday and Saturday. More storms on the way late Saturday into Sunday. In the northern mountains, we'll be looking at a few of those scattered storms continuing. More sunshine on the way into the upcoming weekend. In the east mountains, partly cloudy skies, a few showers possible. In the metro, we'll be looking at the chance that maybe a spot shower this afternoon, but chances are we're going to stay dry for today, and we stay dry through the weekend. Looking at our first 90-degree day by at least early next week.
Okay, thank you, John.